1, 2, 3, 4, go, start!
When the kids are counting
That was way too much energy for me right now.
Where'd you get that
When
shirt?
the
I like
kids
that
go to
shirt.
sleep,
I've had it for a while. I've worn it like 70 times.
That's an over-exaggeration.
when the kids go
Show
to
them your
sleep.
boots, babe.
Stop.
Guys, look at her boots.
Shake
This morning,
Carlos.
one thing I heard this morning is when you zip these boots up, it was like very official. It was like, listen, wait, listen, hold on. Where'd the zipper go? Isn't it crazy to think, like, in the 1800s and stuff, to show like that much of an ankle was thought to be inappropriate? Look how far our society
Why are
has
we
slipped.
talking about my ankles?
Because they're hot. You need to shave your legs, it looks
I
like.
do not. I shaved yesterday.
Well, they're growing, look.
I shaved yesterday.
Oh, I like your socks.
Streamies.
Look at those socks. Those are so cute. I got those for you for Christmas, huh? Look, I got these socks for her for Christmas. Look how colorful they are. You guys see them?
Shay. Shay's eating my socks again.
Episode 99.5 of the podcast.
99.5. Should we tell them why it's 99.5?
Okay, so it's
We should
99.5.
explain ourselves a little bit. We're not just trying to like delay the 100th episode.
So we thought this is, okay, this technically kind of is, well, this is 90, we've done 100 podcasts.
We've done 100 podcasts, but we haven't posted them all on, we haven't taken video of all of them.
Right.
So there's one.
So there's, if you go on our iTunes, there are 100 podcasts available after this one. This is the 100th one. But on When
Available
the
on
Kids Go to
iTunes.
Sleep, which I think is where the lion's share of the When the Kids Go to Sleep audience resides, which I believe is true, there's only 99. This will be the 99th video on When the Kids Go to Sleep. Because last podcast, we're like, this is the 99th, we're all done. But then a lot of you smarties are like, there's only 98 videos on your channel, Shay. You're lying to us. Which we didn't purposely do. But then we're like,
But then we just
oh.
found out that there's a lost podcast.
Don't tell them about that.
Oh.
It's floating out there somewhere. So, but listen, big news
I already did.
with a capital B. As in butler, as in big, as in bonanza. We have a 100th, quit looking at me like that. We have a 100th episode this coming Friday. And it's going to be off the charts.
Bravo. It's going to be awesome. Can we tell them
Can we
who's
say who
coming?
the guests are? Oh, we want to? We just tell them? No? Yes? Yes? Okay. Oh, so this Friday.
Wait, we got a no from Raf and a yes from Nick.
February 22nd.
Oh, yes.
Ross says yes.
Okay, good.
February 22nd at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's California time.
Be there.
3 p.m. Eastern Time. We will have a live show right here on the When the Kids Go to Sleep. You can, I mean, if you miss it, you can obviously watch it later.
So it's not on.
But we're going to be live streaming. It's going to be a 1 hour
YouTube,
live
When the Kids Go to
show
Sleep.
on youtube.com/When the Kids Go to Sleep. We're having guests like Kasim G, Timothy De La Ghetto, and special musical guest, I am so excited, Walk Off the Earth, ladies and gentlemen.
It's true. It's going to be awesome.
We saw Gianni and Sarah last night at the, where'd we go? The Streamys.
The Streamy Awards.
And they're so cool, man. And Gianni, I don't know if this is a secret. Can I say this?
Don't say it if you don't know.
I don't care. I
don't
want to
say it. Don't.
I want to say
don't.
it. Okay,
Don't.
Gianni told me he's going to be on a major at a show.
That's like our show is super major.
Well, they're going to be on our show, but next week they're going to be on
A different show that we shouldn't say.
It's like a show that comes on after the news. And it's
Would you stop?
why? I don't know if I why what's the big deal?
Because you don't know.
Well, anyways, he's going to be on the So tune in, you guys. Be there for the big. It's like a big show, you guys. It's gonna be like a real TV show. It's an hour-long
it's gonna be
special.
so legit.
It's like
it's gonna be too legit.
Is it a 3-camera shoot, Blake? Yeah. 3-camera shoot. 4-camera shoot. And Walk Off the Earth, dude. That's so cool that I texted them and they said they could do it. I think they actually put off an interview. They had a radio interview in San Diego. And I said, dude, it's going to be like our big 100th episode. I'd love for you guys to be there. So they're going to be there. I'm excited. And we love them. They're so amazing. And we saw them last night. And Sarah is pregnant. She's got her
so
little
cute.
baby bump. What were you guys talking about?
Being
Babies?
pregnant.
What'd you
Yeah,
say?
and she looks amazing. She's like 5.5 months along or something. She looks great.
I told her she hit it well because how long ago was CES? It was like a month ago. I couldn't
wasn't very
tell
long ago.
at all that she was pregnant, but she and they hadn't announced it yet, and she didn't say anything because that was the first time I had ever met them. And I was like, I couldn't tell that she was pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
But last night, you could see the baby bump was developing quite
cute.
nicely.
I'm so excited. It's
cute.
going to be a boy.
You know, when girls like you and her, like just like really small little girls, they get these just like little baby bump. It's funny to see because they're just so small and petite. But then this like, it kind of is weird because you see this like little frame of a body, then this like giant bulge coming out of their stomach. It's like, ew, what's that?
It's an alien life form growing
like
inside of you.
There's a body inside your
It's
stomach.
kind of weird. Speaking of new little bodies,
We got a puppy.
we got a puppy.
Dude, it was weird sitting down because the last time that we were talking about getting a puppy and I was like, please, please. And then like sitting on the whiteboard of things to talk about getting a new dog. It's crazy to think that now we have that new dog.
Yeah.
Where it was such a anticipated thing that we talked about and thought about getting a new puppy and the ins and outs and, you know, all that it would entail to have said new puppy. And now he's here and we've cleaned up his poop and pee multiple times.
A lot.
Why did we get a new puppy?
I love it.
This is the teaching process of the evolution of a Great Dane.
But it's been so great because the last time it was just Shay and I was pregnant with Suntard. And I remember just feeling super stressed out, like dog hair everywhere and OCD with like, don't get anything on the carpet. And it used to stress me out. But now, like 4 kids later, life's a little bit more relaxed.
Yeah, for sure.
Plus, the older kids help out a ton with the dog.
Yep.
So it's been a good experience. It hasn't been a really stressful thing. And he's good.
He's brought a lot of joy to our
sleeps
lives.
Most of the time through the night, he whines a little bit and then
we're crate training him, so we have a kennel for him, and we put him in this kennel. And he's been really good about, like, he doesn't pee or poop in his kennel. He'll whine if he has to go to the bathroom, and then we take him out and we put him out. We have, like, a little patio. We bought a bunch of those, like, little puppy pads. Super good invention because they're, like absorbent towels with plastic underneath so it doesn't seep through. And we just put a bunch of those out, and it's like a little yard out on our balcony. We take him down to the grass, too, but we live, you know, like on the 4th floor of an apartment complex. So it's like you can't run down 4 flights of stairs to take him outside every time.
Yeah.
So luckily we have this balcony, and then we just have these like little puppy pads that he goes on. And then you just like roll those little puppy pads up and you just eat them and they're all gone. You don't have to worry about it. That's disgusting. That's gross. So be sure to tune in for 100th show. Last night was a great night. We went to the Streamy Awards at the Palladium Theater in Hollywood. Cool venue, man.
Mm-hmm.
Just walking in there, it's like this big ballroom. And when I was backstage doing interviews after I presented, there's a bunch of pictures of events that had happened in the Palladium. And it's like you can just feel this, you know, I said there's been a lot of fancy soirees in here. Some big dances.
What's a soiree?
A soiree? What's a soiree? It's like a dance, kind of like a party, a soiree. It's like a get-together. A shindig.
Soiree.
A soiree is one step up. It's 3 steps above a shindig.
Okay.
A shindig's kind of like,
I
let's
get
have
that.
a shindig. And then there's like a party. And then a soiree is a fancy shindig, I think. That's probably
I'll take it.
correct. But there's like old chandeliers, and you could just tell like some real history. I mean, the building's been around since like the 50s. Anyways, it was the 3rd annual Streamys, even though they've only had 2 Streamys because the first year was kind of a flop. They had some people rush the stage. I don't know
who
what
that
those
could have
people were
been.
thinking. Man, dude, that was like hindsight's 2020. I wish me and Ron would never have done that. If you don't know what I'm
And they
talking
had to
about,
bring it back.
that was like the first thing that Chris
my
Hardwick,
goodness.
who
And
was
I
the
was like
host,
this. Oh.
were you?
I thought we forgot about that.
Honey, I got a lot of camera
I thought
time.
we erased it.
I got a lot of camera time.
I
See,
thought we saved your name.
it was a good decision
brought it
to
back.
do a couple years ago. So the last Streamies, it was like, I'll just tell the story. Yeah, it's one of those moments where like you just wish everybody would forget. It wasn't that bad.
One
Like,
of those moments where you should have listened to your wife.
Colette was begging me when I'm like, honey,
Said, "Don't.
me and Ron are going to go up
Do
on
not.
stage when Lisa presents. And
Dead
we're just
serious,
going to give him
do
crap.
not.
She's like, don't. I'm like, it'll be so funny. She's like, no.
No,
don't.
it
I'm
won't.
like, honey. And then I'm like, Ron, what do you think? And he's
funny.
like, let's do it. So it was Ron's fault.
It wasn't funny.
So Lisa and Chris Hardwick were presenting an award for something. I can't remember what it was. And me and Ron ran up on stage. I went and watched the video last night. I did kiss Lisa.
Yeah,
I thought
remembered.
I kissed them
I
both.
know.
I kissed both of them.
I know this.
Ron dropped his pants and was like, apparently, I don't know. Anyways, so the opening bit last night when we were sitting in our seats.
Don't go watch it.
They said, yeah, don't go watch it. they said, because Chris Hardwick was hosting this year's Streamies, and so they said, we want you to sit in this very front seat, the first segment of the show, because Chris Hardwick is going to like talk to you and say, we want you to be right there so we can have a camera on you. So I'm like, I said, I knew he was going to bring it up. I knew he was going to say something about it. So I said, Colette, give me your chapstick. Because it was totally, I had no idea what they were going to do. So she gave me her chapstick because I wanted to have like a little thing. So when the camera like cut away to me after he talked about me and like the first show, I was like putting this chapstick on.
Like he was going to do it again.
And then I got to present. That was really cool. I got to present with Ty Pennington from the Home Makeover, Extreme Home Makeover.
And you got to announce the award for Best Host, which turned out to be
Cassim G.
won over Toby
Turner
and Larry King.
You know, Larry King live. I feel bad because during rehearsals, when we rehearsed, when they gave me an envelope to open, and during rehearsals, Toby Turner won. So I thought that's who was going to win. And I even told Toby at the red carpet before the show, I said, dude, I think you win tonight. Said
another one of those times.
Why I'm a blabbermouth. Well, he got it out of me. He interrogated me.
What did he say?
I said, dude, I'm presenting the award tonight for Best Host, and you're one of the nominees. He goes, did I win? Did I win? In his Toby Turner convincing voice. Did I win? The Waskers. And I said, actually, in rehearsals, you did win. So I don't know what that means. But then I feel bad because then Cassim G won. So I hope that Toby didn't think that I just told him that to get his hopes up and then to dash them all to pieces when my good fellow buddy Cassim won. Mm-hmm. But it was cool. And Cassim was genuinely surprised. He had no idea.
It was cute.
Yeah, I asked him after, I'm like, did you ever think you'd be up against Larry King for an award, for the same award? It was a great night. It was fun. What did you think about it? I thought it was cool.
I thought it turned out, I was a little bit nervous because of the Streamies before. I'm like, I'm sure that they've fixed all the problems. It's not going to be that bad this time. And it turned out to be even better than I expected. So I was really impressed with how it all went down, and it was professional and fun and funny. And I thought Chris did a good job.
Chris Hardwick. No, he had I really loved what he said at the beginning about he really had a we should put a link to that. It'll be on streamys.org. He had the intro. We'll just put a link right here. He talked about how, for TV, like it just has to be watchable, and they throw it up on TV. But, content creators on YouTube have to not only make something watchable, you have to be able to, market it.
It has to be shareable.
It has to be shareable. That's the word he used, right? And that, people have to like it enough to send it to their friends. You know what I mean? And he talked about like this is the new industry, and this is this convergence of like old Hollywood and new media coming together, and it was exciting. It was a moment like afterwards I felt like excited to be a YouTube content creator. I felt proud, And that's that's always been the thing that we've talked about is people like, well, you're going to use this platform to jump on over to TV, but we don't want to. Like we're proud of this, this thing that we've created and built, and TV's coming over to this side. I've gotten to work with some cool people. Matt Damon. Have we talked about that? You guys saw the video I did with Matt Damon for water.org. It was so cool. The dude was great. He just played along, and check that video out. Matt Damon. I got to meet Matt Damon, and like I said, he didn't have an entourage. He's like a major celebrity. You're talking about major celebrities. Matt Damon is in that echelon. He's an A-lister. Would you say? I would say.
I think so.
He's an A-lister.
Yeah.
But he didn't when we shot that, he didn't have like a bunch of like publicists and people around like, you can't say this to Matt. You can't look at Matt like this. You can't touch Matt on the left shoulder. You can't, it's just like he showed up.
Did you touch his
I touched
shoulder?
him. I did, because sometimes, I wanted to touch his shoulder. I wanted to touch
Jason
Jason
feel his
Bourne.
biceps?
He was strong. He was he definitely had some tightness to his muscles.
Did you grab his butt too?
What?
That's
Why
what
do you always got to bring it to the
I don't
perversion
know.
level
I just love
of darkness? You pervert.
Anyways.
Do you want to grab Matt Damon's butt?
Nope.
You do too.
Just want to grab yours, babe.
Okay, here, go ahead. Grab it.
Okay.
Squeeze it. It's tight.
That is tight,
that's
especially with the wallet
that's
in
my
it.
Wallet, that doesn't count.
Anyways, now
have a
that we're
wallet.
grabbing butts.
Let me grab your butt.
Nope. I thought the Streamies was awesome.
Yeah, it was fun.
One thing I want to say is musical guests, Vanilla Ice.
Soldier Boy.
Soldier
Vanilla
Boy.
Ice. Dude.
Boyce Avenue, I loved their performance.
I know, like, okay, it's like Vanilla Ice. I don't know what your perception of him is. It's like, oh, he's this washed up guy from the 90s. But
I don't think he's washed up.
He was too legit to quit.
He
I'm
was
just saying.
Totally legit.
He was I liked his performance, and you can't not love a live performance of Ice Ice Baby. I mean, everybody knows that song. I mean, it brought back so many memories, and to see him perform it live.
He really just genuinely acted like he was having a good time and enjoying himself. It wasn't like he was stressed out, like, oh, I got to make sure that my name is good out here. You know what I mean? Like, he was just like, this is awesome.
He was great. Like, that was...
There was a great vibe, a great atmosphere.
Me and Casey were in the bathroom peeing, and we were talking about
what? We don't want to hear about that.
Well, it was like a
moment.
Yeah, we and Casey were, because we went to pee at the same time, and we were sitting there talking about this Walkman. We used to have these. Remember those yellow Walkmans? Mm-hmm. And then like you'd put the tape in it and shut it, and then there'd be like another latch that latched over the top. Remember those Walkmans?
I do.
Me and Casey had one of those. I think we each got one,
so cool.
And we had the Vanilla Ice tape. So like. Dude, that was like the coolest guy of our childhood. And then to see him perform it live last night, I was singing every word.
That was cool.
And I've told this story before. I'm going to tell it again here on the podcast. In that song, he says the words, Shay with the gauge, and vanilla with the 9. And that was like kind of,
you, babe.
As a kid, that was my claim to fame because that song was huge. And I even went and bought the tape specifically to get the lyrics, the little tape thing, and to open it up and say, is he saying Shay or is he saying some other word? And I looked in the lyrics, Shay spelled S-H-A-Y, my spelling, Shay with a gauge, vanilla with a 9. So as a kid, I was like, me and Vanilla are out on the town. I have a gauge. He has the 9. Don't mess with us.
I'm so glad that you were listening to How to Shoot Up stuff when you were that age.
Is Brett the intern? It just came in the chat room.
Oh, hey.
Brett. Hi, Brett. Get back to work, Brett. Brett, what are you doing?
He is working.
So, yeah, man, I think the Streamys did a great job. Tube Filter put it on, and Dick Clark Productions produced it, and I think it's going to be an annual award show that will just get bigger and bigger and bigger. And
there was one performance that I really liked too. Christine, I can't think of her last name. The one that sings Impossible. Chantel, not Christine. I was way off. Oh, sorry, Chantel.
She's pissed.
I loved that they used all the covers.
Yep.
And that it wasn't something that was looked down upon. You know, like she just embraced that people liked to cover her song.
Yeah. They had this video screen. What was that song? Impossible.
That
Keep
one.
singing. That's pretty. I like that.
No.
So everybody that had done covers, they had like on this big video screen all these different people, and it all popped up like in a.
It was like they were singing it with her.
Singing, yeah.
And it would just continue to like, oh,
that's community, people. That's community, and there were some talented, just YouTube singers. Too. So they were all singing, and then they had a bunch of YouTubers. Had like Lisa Levy and Kurt Hugo Schneider. Who else was on the stage?
Was Chester C or no?
No, he did Chester C. He did later.
Vanilla Ice.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
And then our buddy Mike Tompkins performed on stage
with Vanilla Ice,
and then Pete and Lloyd from Epic Rap Battles of History performed.
They did. Was it Steve Jobs and
Bill Gates?
Yeah.
And so then, like, I was backstage right before I presented, and Larry King was right there, and I kind of wussed out because I wanted to get a picture with him, and I was like, I don't know. And then afterwards I was like, oh man, I missed a moment because his wife is Mormon. Larry King's wife is Mormon, but then I found out that they just got a divorce. So I was glad because I was
that you didn't.
That was gonna be my in. I was gonna go up and be like, hey, your wife's Mormon, I'm Mormon. Can I have a picture for Twitter? Like that was gonna be my excuse. But then we found out that they just got a divorce. So I'm glad that that wasn't my in. Like, hey, your wife is Mormon. Oh, you got a divorce? Oh, that sucks.
Oh.
And then Lloyd said something. Anyways, so it was cool to see Larry King. Like that dude is an icon. To think about who he's interviewed. I mean, he's interviewed Michael Jackson. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like he's interviewed the creme de la creme of cremes. What's a creme?
I don't even know.
It's like a dessert item, I think.
Creme.
And then it was cool talking to Ty Pennington, like right before we went out. We just started talking about construction. And I was like, yeah, dude, I used to do granite countertops. And it was cool. We had like this construction workers moment because, he built all those houses. Mm-hmm. And he was telling me, which was interesting, that his lungs, because I told him I quit doing granite because of all the silica dust. When you cut this granite, has this dust in it. It's really bad for your lungs. He was saying that his lungs are kind of messed up from all the houses that they've knocked over, like all that dust from like tearing down all those houses. Also, I told him, I said, dude, if you think about it, you're like one of the original vloggers. Because remember in that show when he was always holding the camera?
True.
He was always holding that camera, and he'd be like, "Hey guys, we're tearing down your house. This is Ty Pennington." Blah 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 blah. Like, think about that. Think about any TV shows before. Like, he was probably one of the first people ever like holding a camera, talking into a camera like that on the TV show.
True.
And he was like, "Oh, I didn't really." He said, "I didn't really ever think about that." I'm like, "Yeah, dude, you're probably one of the first people that vlogging on TV, and they, him holding that camera." So I was like, yeah, that's an interesting moment. So that was cool. You guys remember that, right? Right? Yeah.
Right.
Okay. I'm checking into the live show chat. Why are people saying random things? Mashed potatoes, pickle
They're
juice.
just trying to get us.
Where's your juice? They're trying to get us.
Those are the things you crave when you're pregnant.
Oh, pickle juice?
Pickles and mashed potatoes. Is that what they're talking about?
Dude, I love both of those items. I love both of those items. So
We're tired.
we are. We ate. Well, so then
I feel like this.
I didn't eat all day yesterday until after the Streamies, and then we
all like everybody. We went to an after party where they had a really nice catered, buffet. Not really buffet. They were like coming around with hors d'oeuvres.
Yeah.
And it was amazing.
I was munching those things. They had these little mini slider burgers. They were so good. I had like 3 or 4 of those. And
You had 6.
I didn't have 6.
You said you had 6.
I was over exaggerating.
You told me you had 6.
Shut up! I gotta go for a run.
And then we had tacos afterwards. Whoops.
Yeah. So we ate at like 7, and that was the first
Well,
time
you know
we'd
how
eaten
when
all
you
day.
go you go all day without eating, then you just want to eat everything. That's how I felt. So we did. And it's cool, and I don't regret it.
And they had these little salmon. What was that? It was
No, it was like
crab.
Crab.
In these like little buns that
What
were
would
like
they call
so
'em?
chewy, like
they
little
were. It was almost like they were
doughy.
almost uncooked dough.
Yeah, but they were like, it was like just barely cooked dough, but it was cooked enough where it wasn't like doughy, but it
Gross.
was like really chewy with crab meat in it. Oh my, oh me, oh my. It was
Dumplings.
delicious.
I think that's what you call
They were like
them.
crab dumplings. Are you guys
something.
hungry? Do you guys like crab?
I
You know, it would have
want
been
some
great if
now.
they had some butter to dip that in.
Oh.
That'd have been really fattening. Really fattening. And then congratulations to all the people that won. I was excited for Philip DeFranco. He won for best
That was
news.
exciting.
What did SourceFed and Phil both won?
They both.
I can't remember what the
did they
categories
win?
were. The
I
Fine
can't
Brothers.
remember
The
either.
Fine Brothers beat us in the category that we were in. We were nominated
Mm-hmm.
for best unscripted reality show, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
And the Fine Brothers beat us. Freaking Fine Brothers.
They
get you.
deserved it. It was.
I'll
They
get
do
you.
a really good job.
They won for Kids React, which is a great show. And then let's see, who else won? Nice Peter won for best
Yes.
musician, I think.
I was so
And he
happy.
thanked us on stage. That was really cool.
He deserves it though. He
Yeah.
is amazing, and he works so hard at what he does.
Yep.
He's really.
That was a cool category because there's a lot of YouTubers. Daystorm was nominated in that category. And then it was just cool seeing everybody, like
Oh, and Grace won too.
yeah, Grace, Daily Grace, who was on our show
Mm-hmm.
a couple weeks ago, she won 2 Streamies. She had some funny stories about killing a dog.
It was not funny, but it was funny.
You can go watch.
She makes everything funny.
You can go watch the whole show. It's on the Streamys YouTube channel. They have it all sectioned out into like the different things that happened during the night. But it was, like a lot of these people, like we were hanging out with iJustine after the show, and it's like we've known these people for 6 years. You know, it's weird to think that it's been that long. And there's so many people like Alpha Cat and Mystery Guitar Man, just like all these people that I've been friends with for so many years. It's just cool seeing them at these events, and I was telling Justine, I'm like, think about it in like 20 years from now. We're like, when was that? Like 18 years ago. It's just fun to see it develop,
it's
and
exciting
to see it
to see
evolve.
everybody succeeding too.
Right.
I mean, everybody's doing well for themselves, and it's exciting to see like all of these people where we've come from and where we're at now. It's
cool that
amazing.
you guys have been there for this whole ride.
Yeah, you know what we're
there's
talking
some
about.
of you that have been with us for 5 years.
Since the beginning.
Can you believe we've been
Since
doing
before
this?
we started the Shay Tards. I know there's some people that have been watching us that long.
Right, before we started doing Shay
When it was
Tards
just Shay
videos.
Carl.
It was just the
videos.
Shay Carl channel. I mean, remember that? I remember living in that house in Idaho on
Yeah.
and just getting that first computer, and I remember like I was supposed to do this granite job, and Colette coming in, she's like, don't you need to go up and do that granite job? I'm like, no, I have to make a video today.
And having our parents think we're crazy.
And our parents think that we're crazy, and like
we're crazy.
Her parents thinking like, what's Shay doing? He's not going to provide for our daughter.
Crazy.
My mom always constantly calling me like, you need to go back to school. You should be a flight nurse. You like adrenaline. You like stuff like that. Like, you should be a flight nurse. Go back to school. She'd constantly be calling me, texting me. You need to get a real job, Shay. You need to get a good, secure job. I'm like,
She's
no,
so
Mom,
sweet.
I'm going to do this. And
She's
it just
always worried about us.
And that's natural for parents to like want you to be, have a good future.
Right.
And this, I just always was like, this is what I want to do, and as long as I can make just enough to pay the bills, like, I want to do this because I love it. And if I love it, that's a Dave Ramsey teaching, if you do something you love, you'll be one of the best at it. And if you're one of the best at it, then the money will come. Like, eventually the money will come. It might not come at first, and it didn't for us, I did a YouTube for about a year while doing granite and like real estate and a bunch of other stuff. But if you really love it and you're really passionate about it, you'll get good at it because it's fun for you to do. And then when you're the best at something in a career field, the money will come, and then you'll have enough money because, it sucks, but money is part of it. Like, things cost money.
It's like basically you gotta love it.
Crab dumplings cost money unless you go to a sweet hotel and they have free crab dumplings. They're so good. But you gotta. That's just a fact of life. You gotta pay the bills, and it sucks. There's this catch-22 because you start something because you love it, and then you start getting paid to do it, and then it becomes like, well, you have to.
Then it becomes your job.
Then it becomes your
like,
job.
Wait, I love this.
Yeah, but it's this weird like middle ground. But man, I'm grateful. More than anything, last night it was realizing that. This is our job. As we were leaving last night in the limo, we'll wrap up here. We got 2 minutes left. As we were leaving, not in the limo, we got this car service called Uber. Really cool app. Download it. It's like you can basically call a cab anywhere you're at. And I was telling Casey and Cam, like, this is a cool job. I like my job.
This is cool.
And I just felt excited to be there and to be a
really
part of all
grateful.
this. And I just felt very grateful. It's like, it's like one of those nights where you like reminisce, you're introspective about it. And
Kaylee and I were talking about it. It's one of those nights that just makes you want to go and just create more and like do even better. It's like a recharge. Like, yeah, we're doing okay. This is okay. We're in a good place.
Yeah, you feel like there's, a lot of potential, future things, which it is. It's just.
And I know that there are a lot of people, a lot of you out there that are actual content creators for YouTube, and it can get really discouraging, and you start to feel like, am I really doing something that's worthwhile? And it's just those moments like, if you didn't go watch the Streamys, go watch them. It's like recharging. Like, we're all in this together and we're doing a good job.
Somebody in the chat said Shay is pregnant. Get him some mashed potatoes.
Shay, do you need some mashed potatoes?
Listen.
Is it going to be twins?
I have a burger baby.
Have twins for us, okay?
I have a burger baby in my belly. I have a
burger
baby.
slider baby and crab
Buttermilk biscuits.
dumplings.
All right, thanks for joining us for episode 99.5. Check out all the links.
Love you. Be here Friday.
Don't miss it. Friday, the 22nd, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, the big live 100th episode of When the Kids Go to Sleep, right here on youtube.com/WhenTheKidsGoToSleep. It's going to be amazing. Tell your friends, tell your grandma, tell your parents, tell your class, tell your teachers to call in sick for work. Skip everything that's important in your life and be here and watch the 100th episode. It's going to be amazing. Walk off your Timothy Delaghetto and Chasm G and Colette Butler. Love you guys. See you on Friday.
Bye.